Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Everybody's joining in. Looks like we got 14, 15. Everybody's coming on in. I want to wait till a few people get here before I start saying mentioning some announcements, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Blue Eye Blonde, Palm Mom, Tracy, Spitfire, Tracy, other Tracy, Mitchell. Hey, you guys. Hey, XJ, Tammy Weber. Hey. Good evening, good evening, good evening, you guys. I'm so glad everybody's coming on in. It is Serial Killer True Crime Tuesday. Y'all know this is my favorite day of the week, and I'm so excited. She has got some amazing stories in place for everyone. So you guys better share. Can we start sharing this live? Let's get it out there to at least 5 people. Hey, Legend. Let's see. What do we want our tapping goals to be? I hope we can get to 100,000 before the first story's over. I think we can do it. Yes, amazing stories always, Tracy. Always, always. All right, guys. Everybody's just steadily coming on in here. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see all of you guys. Let's see. I'm looking on my list. Who are we missing? Let's see. Oh, you can hear my dogs just barking. I guess my dogs want to join too. Yes, 215,000. You know what, Tracy? That is so doable too. We can do it. We can do it. Hey, Roxy. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. I have just a few minutes. I wanted to go over a couple things. Hey, Bryant. I just wanted to kind of give a few reminders. It's kind of the same thing as last night, but hey, Melanie. We definitely want to keep pushing the YouTube. If you haven't been over there recently, I have started posting videos of Bryn, some ones that I've made as well, so that we can try to get her out there. Please, all of the ones that you see, all of your night dwellers, thank you so much. We have seen a lot of you guys making these videos to promote our wonderful queen. Please keep that up. We want all of them out there. We want to be able to search her name and see her pop right up. So thank you very much for the time and the effort and the love and the commitment that you all do to make sure that she is appreciated and that she is being able to reach her full potential, because this is just the tip of the iceberg for our Night Queen, and everything you guys do is helping. So every gift, every share, every tap, when you tell people out, if they're at work and you talk about it, share on Facebook, all of your platforms. Clapper, I've started sharing on Clapper as well. So let's just make sure that everybody is able to continue doing that. Let's see. Of course, you guys know we have the stickers for our subscribers. We gained 4 or 5 new subscribers yesterday. So let's keep that up, and let's make sure that everybody has a chance to know how great it is to be a night dweller. Friday is continued the meet and greet. Last week was amazing. So she's going to continue doing that this week. It will be at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central for 30 minutes before the story starts. Oh, there's an echo. Okay. Let me see. I don't know if it's my side. Let me see. Hold on. Is it still echoing? Here, let me pull my phone away from me. All right, is it still back? Okay. All right, we will get it figured out. I'm going to jump down. But you guys thank you for your time today, and I will just put these stuff in the chat so we can all be up to date, okay? Thank you, guys.
Hello, Night Dwellers. How are you? Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. I have a question for you.
Screen's still split.
Do you like scary stories?
It's pants.
Well, I have quite a selection for you tonight. Hello. Why, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Black is my favorite color. Thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Palm Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you, Leslie Marie. Hello, Johnny. How are you? Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. Can everyone hear the music? Hello, XJ. Hello, Shereen. Hello, Martha. Hello, Blue Eye Blonde. How are you? Thank you, Legend of the 80s. Thank you. Did anyone happen to see my henchman? His name is Nocturne. He works solely for me, protects me, watches every move that is made. I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well, Blue Eye Blonde. There is definitely something that is going around. We have completed the first stage of the Teen Go, but very well. The Teen Quest. So glad to hear it. My dear Blue Eye Blonde, if you have to bow out because you don't feel well, No one will think the worst of it. It is so hot in here that I can barely breathe tonight. I had to make a special request. So a couple different changes tonight. One, if you have noticed, subscribers have stickers now. Two, you also have a badge. For every subscriber, you are now known as Grim. So thank you so much for being a subscriber. Let's let a few more people come in the next couple minutes, and then we will get started. It's getting a little colder in here now. Oh, I almost can barely breathe. I feel much better. Thank you, dear. I hope that everyone had a lovely Tuesday and that you are prepared for true crime serial killer night. Let me know in the comments. This first story is one that I had never heard before. The devil in the chicken coop. Yes, you're right. You heard incorrectly. The devil in the chicken coop. The true horror of the Wineville murders. Have you ever heard of it? No, neither have I. Until I began my research on it, and it is chilling. But first, let's do a sound check to make sure that all my night dwellers are ready for twisted tales. How's the music? Hello, Brian. Welcome. Music is good. Wonderful. Yes, that is true, Tracy. Roosters are. Sounds good. Wonderful. How is the lighting? Can everyone see? Can you tell that I am wearing a gown of black tonight? She is lovely and large. Fitting for the Night Queen. Did you notice the fan? Isn't it lovely? And devilish, indeed. You have a pink fan. Well, kiddo, you are going to have to bring it on out, aren't you? Hello, Missy. How are you? So lovely. All right, I think we have a good enough group in here to begin. So let's start. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Close your curtains. As I begin the first story, The Devil in the Chicken Coop, the true horror of the Wineville murders. This isn't just a story. So sorry about that. I think the heat is getting to me tonight. Night Dwellers. This isn't just a story. A lonely ranch in the California desert. A chicken coop that hid unspeakable horrors. A boy held prisoner, forced to witness evil incarnate. This is the true and terrifying twisted tale of the Wineville murders. A crime so dark, so cruel, that even the killer's mother took part in it. That's right. Chapter 1. The Lonely Road to Wineville. In 1924, when Gordon Stewart Northcott first arrived in Wineville, California, it was nothing more than a quiet desert town. That's all. Dusty roads, miles of empty farmland as far as the eye could see. A place where no one asked questions. Where a man could live in total seclusion, really. Where screams wouldn't be heard. No one suspected that this young, well-dressed man who claimed to be a chicken farmer had come to this town for something else entirely. Something far darker than raising poultry. Gordon was charming. Too charming. He had a way of looking people in the eye and making them trust him. Oh yes. Handsome, debonair, soft-voiced. They believed and trusted him instantly. But the moment that you crossed the threshold of his desolate ranch, something felt terribly wrong. How so, Bryn? The air was thick, hot, suffocating. The smell of decay lingered. Even when there were no animals nearby. His property sat on the edge of nowhere, surrounded by vast open desert. A place where no one could hear you scream. No one. A perfect hunting ground, really. Or a perfect graveyard. Chapter 3. The Strange Arrival of Sanford Clark. In 1927, Gordon invited his 14-year-old nephew, Sanford Clark, to live with him on the ranch. A fresh start for a young boy, his parents thought. Absolutely, it's a grand idea. We'll let him go out there. He'll grow up. He'll learn to be a man. A chance to learn hard work and discipline. But the moment Sanford stepped foot off the train, something felt so wrong. His uncle's smile was too wide. Sanford had met him before, and even then, he did not like him. There was something about it that the boy did not trust. Something about it that made his skin crawl. But what was it? His eyes were too cold. And when they arrived at the ranch, something felt disturbing. There were no other workers, for one. How was his uncle running a whole chicken farm by himself? No signs of an actual chicken farm at all. Just rows of empty coops. And in the distance, a single windowless shack. That was all. His uncle's prized possession, he said. A place Sanford would come to fear more than anything. The chicken coop. Chapter 4. The First Nightmare. The first few nights at the ranch were strange. Gordon talked about discipline. How men like them needed to control others. How Sanford was weak, but in time, he would learn. Then one night, Gordon woke Sanford up. Standing over him in the dark, with a single candle in his hand, smiling. The thing that Sanford didn't understand was how his uncle was standing with a candle, holding it, not in a holder. The wax was pouring down onto his fingers and his hands. But Gordon didn't flinch. How was that? Come with me, Sanford. Gordon led his nephew outside, through the cold desert, right to the chicken coop. Inside, a single light bulb flickered. Sanford's heart pounded. There was something else in the darkness. There was something else in the shadows. A figure. Another boy. Terrified. Bound. Gagged. Viewer's discretion is advised on the rest of this story. Gordon turned to Sanford. You're going to help me now, boy. I'm going to put you to work. You're going to earn your keep around here. That's when he knew he wasn't there to work on a farm. He wasn't there to feed the chickens. No. He was here to become a monster, just like his uncle. Chapter 5. The first murder. Sanford was too afraid to run, too afraid to scream. He was alone, trapped, and Gordon, he liked that. You're part of me now, boy. You're part of me, he whispered. You do what I say, or I'll do the same to you. And then Sanford watched in horror as his uncle grabbed an axe. Sanford wanted to close his eyes, but Gordon made him watch every part of the killing. The sound of the blade cutting through flesh would haunt Sanford for the rest of his life. Blood splattered the dirt floor of the coop, and Gordon, he just laughed. There now, he turned to Sanford. That wasn't so bad, was it? Chapter 6, The Chicken Coop Graveyard. No one could hear them scream. No one could hear them beg. Because the ranch was too far from town. And Gordon knew that when he purchased the property. And every time he killed someone, he made Gordon dig. Grave after shallow grave, right under the chicken coop. He was turning a farm into a graveyard, and no one had a clue. Chapter 7, The Boys Who Never Came Home. Between 1926 and 1928, boys began to vanish from surrounding towns. No trace. No witnesses. Just gone. The police? They didn't care. These boys were rejects, orphans, cast out of their families' homes for being troublemakers. In their opinion, the town was better off without them. Most were poor. Some didn't even have a name. Who would miss them? But someone did. And that someone would bring Gordon's nightmare crashing down. One moment. This is real. A lonely ranch. This isn't just a twisted tale, Night Dwellers. This is true. And for those of you who are just coming in, I will give you a brief recap. A boy held prisoner. A killer who laughed at his crimes. And a mother who was just as evil as her son. This is the true horror of the Wineville Chicken Coop murders. The real American nightmare. Between 1926 and 1928, dozens of boys vanished in the area surrounding Riverside and Los Angeles. Poor boys, orphans, runaways. Boys whose families were told they probably just left home. You know how they are when they get to be a certain age. But one by one, they were lured to Wineville. And none of them left alive. Sanford never knew their names because Gordon never cared. To him, they were just things. And every time a new boy arrived, Sanford knew it meant only one thing. another grave. Chapter 9. The mother who killed with her son. Not all monsters work alone. Don't be foolish enough to think that. Gordon wasn't just a killer. He was his mother's son. Sarah Louise Norcott didn't just know what was happening. Oh no! She helped! She was the one who told him that some lives do not matter. That the world was divided into predators and prey. And if a boy screamed too loud, she was the one who would hold them down. Sanford saw it happen again and again and again. And when it was over, she would look at him and smile. Time to wash my hands. She simply washed the blood off her hands, as if nothing had happened at all. Sanford did grow up. He learned to stop crying because tears didn't help. It only made Gordon and his mother angry at him. Begging didn't help. Tears didn't help. But the night that Walter Collins arrived, something changed. Oh yes, Walter wasn't like the others. He was louder, fought harder. Sanford thought maybe this time Gordon won't win. But he was wrong. Because Gordon always won. And this time he wanted Sanford to help him. You're a couple years older now, boy. Get over here. Gordon's mother waited beside him with the axe. Hold him down, Sanford. You have to hold him down. You're strong now. You can do this. Gordon walked up to Sanford. They were almost the same height now. Hold him down, boy. Hold him down. Or I'll make you dig 2 graves tonight. One for him. Gordon looked at his mother and smiled. And one for you, Sanford, if you don't help him. Sanford froze because he knew it. He knew that Gordon wasn't lying. Walter Collins fought harder than anyone. But no one wins against a monster. That's what you need to understand. Sanford had to look away. He held him down because he did not want to lose his own life. But he could not watch another boy die. But when he heard the axe hit the floor, and he turned around, the only thing left of Walter was the blood soaking into the dirt and the echo of his last scream. Chapter 12, the escape that almost never happened. Sanford wanted to run, but Gordon was always watching him, always. There was never a moment that he had alone. If Gordon wasn't watching him, then his mother was. Always listening. One night they were sitting at the table, another boy's life taken, eating a sandwich, as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Tell me, Sanford, where would you go? Your mom and dad don't want you. You would be out there one day, and there's someone else out there just like me, and they would take you and they would, You belong to me now, boy. You belong to me. And the worst part was, Sanford almost believed it. Until the night that his sister came looking for him. Chapter 13, the night Jesse Clark arrived. Sanford hadn't seen his sister in 2 years, since his mother and father dropped him off at his Uncle Gordon's farm. He honestly didn't even know if she remembered him, but she had. And when she arrived at the ranch, she saw the fear in his eyes. The fear, the brokenness. Sanford couldn't say the words. Gordon was trained right on him, and so was Gordon's mother. But he didn't have to say anything, because Jesse knew. And that night she whispered. She crept into his bedroom. He was sleeping, and he felt someone nudge him on the shoulder. Sanford, wake up. Wake up. I'm gonna get you out of here. I've had these horrible dreams the past few weeks. Mom and Dad don't know I'm gone. I'm gonna get you out of here. Sanford began to cry, because for the first time in 2 years, someone had finally come to save him. Chapter 14. The moment Sanford chose freedom. Sanford waited until midnight. That was when Gordon was deep asleep. That was when he and Jesse ran. They didn't stop. They didn't look back. Because if Gordon woke up and caught them, they both knew that they were done for. They would never leave alive. Jesse and Sanford escaped into the night, under the cover of darkness. It was as if the moon conspired with them and did not shine, casting the prairie and the darkness into shadows. Every time they heard a vehicle coming down the road, Sanford would look back, terrified. "He's coming! He's coming, Jesse!" "No, he's not. We're safe." They finally arrived in town. And Jesse and Sanford told the police everything and what had been happening at the ranch. They didn't believe it. It was too horrific. "Come on now, boy. That is a far-fetched story right there." "Sir, it's not a far-fetched story. My brother wouldn't lie." It was too inhuman. But then Sanford said one thing that made them listen. "There are bodies buried under the chicken coop." "I'm not lying to you. There are bodies buried under the chicken coop." And suddenly, right at that moment, the police were very interested. Chapter 16. The discovery that made history. August 1928. Police dug up the ranch. Gordon and his mother sat off to the side. "You're idiots! There is nothing out there. You're not going to find anything. It was that sniveling coward of a boy that told you that. But you're not going to find anything on me." "Oh, really?" "They found a lot. They found skulls, bones, bits of flesh rotting in the dirt. Gordon Northcott had turned his ranch into a massive grave. And Sanford, that poor boy, had buried them all. Gordon looked at Sanford when they brought him into the station. "Who do you think they're going to convict?" "Not me. I did nothing. Mama, She did nothing. You buried them all. How do they know you didn't kill them? I mean, really, how do they know you didn't do it? The police were about to arrest Gordon and his mother. He asked them to let him go back to his property and pick up his things and sell them. And do you know what they did? I suppose times were different in the 1920s. Sure, you can do that. Be a man of honor and then come back and turn yourself in. When he got to his property, he ran. A coward. He and his mother fled to Canada. But you can't outrun the devil. And when they were caught, Gordon laughed. Like it was all a joke. Because in his mind, he had already won. Chapter 18, the final days before Gordon's death. Gordon Northcott was sentenced to death, and everything that he had said about Sanford was wrong. He never stopped smiling, even when he got the death sentence. Not once. Even after they dragged him to the gallows, he turned to the guards and whispered, "Aren't you even just a little sad to see me go?" Then, at 10:02 a.m. on October the 2nd, 1930, the rope snapped his neck. And for the first time in his life, Gordon Northcott shut up. So Gordon Northcott was gone. His mother, destined to spend prison for the rest of her life. Wineville never recovered. Too much blood. Too much horror. The town changed its name to Marilona to erase its past, but the land never forgot. To this day, people who visit the site of the old ranch say they hear strange sounds at night. Footsteps. Screams. And sometimes, they see a man standing near where the chicken coop used to be, wearing a black suit like Gordon Northcott used to wear, watching, waiting. Chapter 20, the haunting that never ended. Gordon Northcott is dead, but some believe he's still out there. That the evil he created never went away. That the ghosts of his victims are still searching for peace. And that if you stand at the wrong place at the wrong time, you might hear a voice whisper behind you, "You're mine now. You're mine." And when you turn around, there will be nothing but shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this story tonight of the Chicken Coop murders, the Wineville murders. Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for the serial killer story of the evening. Bryn, wasn't that the serial killer story? Oh no, no, no. 2-minute intermission. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. I hope that you are having a wonderful time tonight on Twisted Tales Live. Go ahead, grab a drink and a snack and come on back. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I did know it. No, actually, that was a posting from Lady B. Oh my goodness. You got your eggs, 3 a dozen. There you go. Hello, Daniel Benkamp. How are you? Ray-Ban, do you have a chicken coop? Hey, Tigger, how are you? Oh, look at Graham beside all my subscribers. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Lulu, you're out again? I don't know what's happening. I have put in a message with Discord. A couple people are having the issue. Hey, Magic Moon, how are you? So, I'm going to do a gown reveal. It is black, but I'm going to do one still. This is it. She is black. She is lovely. She is bold. She has got a corseted waist. Look at that. Also in the back. And then a very full and flowing gown. I think this is the first gown that I've worn in quite some time that doesn't have sequins on it. Imagine that. I guess sequins aren't always needed. There we go. There we go. Now I'm right in the middle of the camera. But isn't she lovely? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Peanut Butter. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? The corset waist is just lovely. I would not have been able to fit into this corset waist 2 months ago, but yet here I am now. Thank you. The necklace, yes, isn't she pretty? It is actually black roses, I think. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if I can get up a little bit closer. I don't know if it's roses. I think that's the other one that I'm thinking about. But this one is absolutely lovely. I feel like the Night Queen in this, for sure. Once again, this is the gown tonight. Someone told me today, and I found it quite funny, that the gown is becoming as much a character as I am. It's true. Let me step back again. Black, gorgeous black, corseted waist. Oh yes, very flattering. The back, stunning. And then the full, flowy black skirt. Yes, she is a beauty. I think I'll keep this one. You like it? Who's that girl? Oh, really, Ray-Bad? Thank you, Tigger. Thank you so much. Oh, I got a whistle from Legend of the 80s. We are working on so many things here on Twisted Tales Live. Just stay tuned. It is so good to see my subscribers have Grimm by them now. That is a wonderful feeling. Have we met our first live goal? Oh, we got 8 more bow knots. 8 more. So, Night Dwellers, I want to thank you all. I want to thank all my new followers. I want to thank my new subscribers. I want to thank people for tapping on that screen. Currently, we're at 89,000. I'm not starting the story until we're at 100, just so you know. And if you are a new Night Dweller and you came in and followed me tonight, come in, say hello. I won't bite. Oh, thank you for the pretty pink bow. It goes so lovely with this gown. Can you imagine a night where you come on at 8 o'clock to watch Twisted Tales Live and it's not here? Why not? Because believe it or not, it is the generous contributions of Night Dwellers like you who keeps this live alive and thriving. Whether it is a small gift or a grand gesture, it is greatly appreciated and goes toward keeping these candles lit. So thank you so much. Curly Bear, I only find 2 videos on YouTube. There is actually 17, 18, and 19 on there now. Hello, Tara, how are you? Come in, Night Dwellers, come in. Prepare for the second story of the evening. This one is terrifying. The next story up is Rodney, a collar. At 100K, the second story will begin. Not before. So nice for you to jump in, XJ. Hello, Tara. So good to see you. Hey, Karen. How are you? So good to see you here. Hey, Janet. I'm not seeing shares like I was. In order for this live to be known, we've got to share it. Not just 2, 3, 4 people can share it. Everyone needs to do it. Night dwellers need to do it. Share it with 5 friends, 10 friends. Let's get this going. Share it. There are people out there who are not aware that there is a TikTok that is a Twisted Tales live, that is a Scary Stories live, that is a professional storytellers live. Let's start sharing. Let's tap it. Let's get it out there. Share it on every platform that you have. Listen, YouTube is definitely a vision that I have for this community. But we can't get there unless we have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing time. What does that mean? That means you need to watch the videos. That means that you need to spread the word far and wide that there is a Twisted Tales live and that they need to join it. And if you don't join it, you don't know what you're missing. Right now, we have about 105 subscribers on YouTube, which is good considering this is just our second week on there. And last night, we got 8 or 9 subscribers on there, but we need more. It needs to build up quickly. I don't know about you. I don't want to take a year to get monetized on YouTube. I want this to be global. I want scary stories to be told worldwide, not just in the US. So we can band together and we can make it happen. Let's make it happen, my lovelies, ladies and lords of the court. Your queen beseeches you. Help our realm. Help the Night Kingdom. Thank you. All right, we're over 100K. Wonderful job. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This next story, I wish, was a twisted tale of fiction, but it's not. It's true, just like the first one. What is it about? It is about Rodney McCullough, a serial killer, also known as the dating game killer. Are we ready for the second story of the evening? If we are, go ahead and let me see it in the comments. Wonderful. And don't forget, tomorrow night, you're in the storytelling seat. Are you ready to share your paranormal story? Are you ready to share what you have seen? Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Paranormal Wednesday. The night dwellers tell their stories. Your Night Queen looks forward to hearing them. This next story is so real. A charismatic photographer, a charming contestant on a TV show known as The Dating Game, and the woman who never saw it coming. Tonight's story will be interesting because it will be in first person. Share this live with someone who likes a good, scary story. This is a true story. The story of Rodney O'Culler's victims. The ones who survived. The ones who didn't. And the ones still waiting to be found to this day. Chapter 1, The Man with the Camera. 1977, Los Angeles, California. Jill Bargham's perspective. They always say that you should listen to your mama. I used to have people all the time in my hometown tell me that I was so pretty, that I could be a model. Mama said, "Oh, Joe, do you know how many girls are told that every day? You are beautiful. You're always going to be beautiful to me. But honey, you don't need to go out to California. Not yet. You're too young. Why don't you get an education? And then if you decide after that you want to go out to California and be the biggest movie star on the planet, then do it." But what can you say to a 17-year-old girl? My town was always the same. You took a job at the Dairy Queen. You worked there for a little bit. You went to the community college. And then you got married. And then you had 2 or 3 kids. And before you knew it, you were my mom. I used to hear her cry at night to my dad. I never did anything with my life. I I guess she didn't think that I heard those conversations. It was because of her that I wanted to go. It was because of her that I wanted to explore the world and find out what was out there. Daddy helped me pack up my car. I was going to stay with an aunt out there. I was so excited. The world was my oyster. I was going to go out there and I was just going to get job after job in the movie business, and I was going to make it, and I was going to make Mama and Daddy proud, and I was going to make her eat her own words. I was going to be big. Yeah. I was going to be big. I was going to be someone. I had been there for a couple months. I had been to some auditions. Mama was right. Even though I would never admit it to her. When we would talk on the phone, I had made out like everything was fine. How's it going? Oh, you know, I've got some prospects. I'm supposed to hear back from a director tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. Well, that's good to hear. That's good. You need any money? Your daddy and I can wire you some. No, I'm okay. I'm good. Okay. It's just that your Aunt Josie said that you haven't found a job yet. So, we just want to make sure that you're okay. Your Aunt Josie can't afford to take care of you. Mama, I've got it. I've got some job opportunities lined up. Stop picking on me. Believe in me. That was the last thing I said. I was sitting down at the separate table with my aunt and her daughter. Hey Jill, I made some Castleberry beef stew, and there's some white loaf bread on top of the refrigerator. You're welcome to some. No, I'm good. I'm just gonna go out and take a walk on the pier. Now? It's dark. Yeah, but, you know. So I went out. And that's when I saw him. At the Santa Monica Pier. He had a camera around his neck. His shirt was half unbuttoned. His smile was dazzling. Even under the streetlights. I was 17. So naive. He walked up to me. He lifted my dark hair. He was older than me. Very handsome. I never really had attention paid to me like that by a man. Just the boys at school. He looked at me. Well, aren't you a pretty thing? I thought he was safe. I thought he was safe. His eyes were watching me, and they were, at the time, what I thought was kind, maybe slightly hungry. He made my heart speed up in my chest. My camera's gonna love you. What's your name, beautiful? Jill? Come with me, Jill. Let me take some pictures of you. I took his hand. We walked down to the end of the pier. And he started shooting pictures of me. He told me how to pose. He told me to sit down on the bench and lift one leg up on the top of the bench and then look at the camera. And he said, look at the camera like you want to eat it. And then the sun had completely set. He said, we need to go somewhere where there's better lighting. He said he knew a place where the light was amazing. He said his car was parked just a few yards away. I got into the car with him. He said I could slide closer to him if I wanted to. He started driving. I realized that we were heading into the hills. I began to feel that I had made a terrible mistake. Relax, come on. You're all nice back there. What happened? I'm just too far from home. Oh. Mommy's baby girl wanna go home. Come on. Let's go get a few shots. We'll put them in your portfolio and you're gonna have offers coming out of your ears. Come on. He parked the car. He led me up into the hills. It was beautiful light. The moon was big and full. Relax, Jill. Relax. I just know a great spot for photos. You are going to be breathtaking under the moonlight. That was his first slide. Chapter 3, The Last Moments of Freedom. We went up into this rocky area. There was this cliff. He told told me to stand pretty close to it so that the moon would be in the background. He called me a moon goddess. I felt it in my bones. Something was wrong. The world was just too quiet up there. You know what? Can we do this another time? I'm supposed to call my mom. I check in with her every night. You do? Yeah, you know. We should go back. You're not calling your mom tonight, Jill. Something entered his eyes then. And as he came toward me, he wasn't the same man. His eyes were dark and evil. He told me to turn away from him and look at the moon and the valley below. And I was shaking. And then I felt his hands around my throat. And that was the end of me. I tried to fight him. I grabbed his hands and tried to pull them away from my neck, and the first blow sent stars across my vision. I hit the ground, blood warm and wet against my scalp. He leaned over me. Don't fight it, Jill. Don't fight it, you're beautiful. His breath was calm. Like this was normal for him, like this was routine. I kicked, I screamed, but no one was there. No one ever would be. Look at me, he demanded. I turned my head and the camera clicked again and again and again, and he posed me like a rag doll, shifting my arms, tilting my head. My eyes filled with tears, and he laughed. You're so beautiful, Jill. And then he replaced his hands with a cord. I tried to breathe. I tried to fight. I looked up at this canopy of stars above me. I could see the Milky Way. There was no light pollution there. The rope tightened. My pulse pounded in my ears. Everything was fading. And then those brilliant blue stars above me began to blur. Mama, I'm sorry. The last thing I saw was his smile above me. A smile that didn't belong to a human. That was the end of me. Chapter 7. The next goal. I honestly don't remember what happened. All I know is I was at this bar and I met this guy and he told me I was pretty and he said he wanted to take some pictures of me. And I remember just getting really drunk, and I remember I woke up naked on the floor and my wrists were bound and the carpet was rough against my skin. I don't remember how I got there. I just remember meeting him and he told me that he was going to take pictures of me and that he would help me get a portfolio ready. My name is Charlotte Lamb. I turned and looked and he was sitting in a chair just watching me. Oh, you're awake. Photo session can begin. It was him. It was the guy at the bar. I remembered that. My head was pounding from where he had hit me across the back of my head. I could taste blood in my mouth. Tasted like a bunch of coppered pennies. He leaned forward in his chair. Oh, Charlotte, you are going to love these pictures that I took of you while you were out. You want to see them? You're sick. You're twisted. It's art. It's art, Charlotte. No one appreciates art the way it should be appreciated. He didn't just want to hurt me, he wanted to break me. He would whisper, tell me you like this. He would torture me. He would hold me close like a lover. He would stroke my hair, he would call me beautiful. And then the violence would begin all over again. I just prayed to die. And the last thing I would hear as I was about to pass out was the shutter clicking. don't know what happened there. What in the world? Chapter 9. The escape that never came. I woke up and he was still there, but he had untied me. And I was just laying there, and I thought if I played along with him, if I kept him calm, he would let me go. He promised he would. He said, if you do exactly what I want you to do, I'll let you go. I don't kill everyone. That's what he whispered to me. Some girls get to leave if you're good, if you do what I say. I believed it. And that was the last mistake I ever made. Chapter 10, The Smile on TV. Robin Samso's mother's perspective, 1979. Huntington Beach, California. I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw his face on TV. That same eerie smile. The one he wore on the dating game. And my blood went cold. Because I knew that face. I knew that face. That was the face my 12-year-old daughter had described the day before she disappeared. She came home, she ran in, slamming the door behind her. Mom, I met this guy and he said I'm pretty and he wants to take photos of me. Can I do it? Can I do it? A man who said he was a photographer. The man who offered to take my daughter's pictures. And now, she was gone. Chapter 11, The Truth Unveiled. The police searched his locker in Seattle, and inside, they found hundreds of photographs. Girls with painted ties, some smiling like they thought it was just a game, when it was anything but. Others, you could tell that they knew, that they realized way too late. And some of them, these girls were never found. Night Dwellers, this isn't just a story. If you're just coming in with us now, I'm telling the story of serial killer Randy Alcala. This is real, a charismatic predator. He was known as the dating game predator, a man who hunted with a camera, and the women who never saw him coming. This is the true horror of Rodney Alcala. A man who left behind hundreds of photographs and more questions than answers. One moment. Chapter 12. The Women Who Barely Escaped. 1978. Christine Thornton's perspective. To be honest with you, I still don't know why he let me go. Maybe he got bored with me. Maybe he liked fear more than death. Or maybe he knew I would never be the same. I remember the moment I realized I wasn't going to make it home. The moment his gentle voice turned cold. Turn around, he said. Let's take one more picture. Come on, one more. I did. And the flash of the camera was the last thing I saw before he hit me. Chapter 13. The chicken bone trick. I played dead. I let my body go limp. I slowed my breathing down. I heard his footsteps circling me. He leaned down, he ran a hand through my hair and whispered, I like you better like this. And then just like that, he was gone. I crawled away from there broken and bleeding. And I never spoke his name again. I don't know why that he let me go, but not the others. I don't know what it was about me. I feel guilty. Why was I saved? Chapter 14. The Photographer's Collection. 1980. A police officer's perspective. I'll just say that my name is Leslie and I was a detective on the case of Rodney LaColla. I was in the Seattle storage unit when we found the box. It was old, heavy. Inside were hundreds of photographs. Girls, children, some smiling, some crying, and some they looked like they just knew what was going to happen to them. Like they knew they were never going to get out of that room. Chapter 15, the last words of my mother. I sat in that courtroom for weeks, staring at the man who took my daughter away my 12-year-old daughter, waiting for a single sign of remorse. But there was nothing. How could there be nothing in that man's eyes? No remorse, no guilt, just a smile. How? How can someone be so dark, so evil? I waited for a single sign of remorse from him, but there was nothing. Not even when they played the tapes. Not even when they showed him the pictures. You know what that devil did? He smiled. He even chuckled at one point. And when it was over, and they led him away, that sadistic, I can't even find the name, he turned to me and smiled. He said, "Tell Robin I said hi." I almost collapsed because that was when I knew he wasn't just a killer. He was the devil. The devil had just talked to me. I saw his face on the dating game. That same smile, the same soft voice. So, Bachelor number 1, what's your idea of the perfect date? The audience laughed, and the woman chose him. She had no idea. None of them did. But I did. And I will never forget it. The jury returned after 2 days. The judge asked if Rodney had any final words. And I remember he looked at us. He smirked. He leaned forward and whispered, "I'll see you all in hell." I'll see you all in hell. Then the judge sentenced him to death. But death was too kind for Rodney Alcala. He deserved to rot. Chapter 18, The Death Row Monster. He spent 4 decades in a tiny, cramped box, writing letters, drawing sketches, and never once apologizing for what he did. They called him the dating game killer, but I called him something else. The ghost maker. A collector of souls. And even behind bars, he still haunted me. Not all of his victims were found. Not all their names were spoken in court. Some remain locked in a box, their faces frozen in time. Somewhere there is a family still waiting for their girl to come home. And sadly, she never will. Because her face is just one of many. Staring out from the lost collection of Rodney Alcala. Chapter 20, The Final Nightmare. Rodney Alcala died alone. A frail, sick man who once called himself a hunter. But even in death, his story isn't over. Because the photos remain. And the bodies? Some were never found and some never will be. Some are still out there, waiting. And if you ever see a faded photograph at a flea market of a girl smiling, looking away from the camera, ask yourself this, night dwellers. Did she ever come home? Or did she meet the devil in disguise? If you survive this story, night dwellers, drop a flame in this chat. Did you think this story was fire? And if you want more, follow me for the next nightmare. I hope you have enjoyed True Crime Serial Killer Tuesday. Remember, tomorrow night, Paranormal Wednesday, you tell me a paranormal story. Something true, something real that happened to you. You cause the chills tomorrow night, lords and ladies of the court. Are you ready? We shall see. I have enjoyed this evening with you. It was chilling indeed, was it not? Did you feel chills up your spine tonight? You are most welcome. Most welcome. Well, this Twisted Tales has come to an end, but we'll be right back at it tomorrow night. In the meantime, rest easy, night dwellers. and you are wrapped up safely in your blankets in your bed, and you begin to nod off to sleep, may you have the most pleasant of dreams. But then somewhere in the early morning hours, it will shift to a nightmare. And remember, in the darkest corners of your nightmares, you belong to me.
Oh, yeah. Nah, yo, change that beat. That's alright, but other shit was Oh, yeah. Nah.